related to our health, and it is something that is getting popular these days. And I'm not talking about eating fruits, but rather something to do with fruits itself, and that is juicing. I'm sure you've had fresh juice made from shops outside, and I'm sure you've made some fruit juices yourself at home using a blender. But I don't think it's getting too, as in a lot of people are doing it these days because not many people know the benefits of juicing. This video that you're seeing here is going to talk briefly about how juicing can improve our health. So, this is a picture of nice variety of fruits, and of course this is the next one. This next slide here looks into vegetable juice and all the variety you can see here. You can see cucumbers, capsicum, tomatoes, garlic, onion, cabbages. But why would you want to juice fruits or vegetables? Now, I'm sure for those who have some experience juicing, you will know that juicing vegetables is probably the most difficult of all. But I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'm just going to talk to you about the main benefits of juicing. And the first one is juicing for weight loss. Is it even possible for this to happen? Of course, but it depends on what sort of fruits you choose to juice from. The main reasons why it is good is the high fiber content and the cellulose, and it gives you that feeling of fullness or that satiated feeling, because fruits which are juiced are high in fiber and high in cellulose, and they make you feel full and they reduce food absorption. Well, not to say reduce food absorption, but actually slow down absorption. And it tends to make you eat less, rather than just eating snacks and keep eating chips and chocolates and things in between big meals. These are the sort of things that you should eat, okay? It combats cravings of sweet foods and high-calorie foods, which are bad, obviously. So why not try juicing apples, grapefruits, oranges, and peaches? Another thing that why juicing is beneficial for us is it gives us a lot of energy, and it also depends on the types of fruits. And the reason why it gives energy is the antioxidants that it has in a lot of these fruits. For example, apples and oranges, strawberries, they are rich in vitamin A, C, and E, and bioflavonoids is high in fruits like grapes, black currants or berries and things like that. Carotene is also high in carrots, which is obvious, everyone knows that. And all these two things, they help provide energy to sustain our everyday activity. So carbohydrates can be also found. And the important thing about fruit juices is that they are low in high processed sugar, but they have higher amounts of complex sugars, which is good. We need that. Iron folate is also another mineral that we can find, which helps replenish our red blood cells, our bodily cells. It helps in cell regeneration, which is also important for energy. I'm sure most of you would have heard that a few fruits or a few vegetables are beneficial for common ailments like the common cold. So I'm going to give you a short guess of what is it. Okay, I hope some of you guys have think of it, but of course the first thing is ginger. As you can see, ginger is very, very good for flus, the common colds. It has also a very good anti-inflammatory effect and an anti-vomiting effect. It has also been used for pain relief, but generally it's been used for stomach upsets, flu, and motion sickness. So a good juice preparation will be ginger and fruits. So together these two things, they can make a very good ginger and honey. This is the other one, and it's got a palatable juice. It's healthy, it's wholesome, and I always take a cup of ginger juice to help me when I have the common cold or the flu. The other thing is spinach, which helps in anemia. I bet you didn't know that, because green leafy vegetables are high in iron. Carrots, obviously, for eyesight and acne. Now, there are a whole lot more benefits of drinking juice. We'll discuss more of it on our website.
Erectile dysfunction is considered an important cause of decreased quality of life in men. In fact, so much so that one early theory suggested that this may explain the link between impotence and heart attacks. Depression is a risk factor for coronary heart disease, and the thought was that men who couldn't get it up became so depressed that they die of a broken heart. But now we know that erectile dysfunction and heart disease can be two different manifestations of the exact same root problem: diseased arteries. Inflamed, oxidized, cholesterol-clogged blood vessels. So no wonder a diet chock full of anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, cholesterol-lowering plant foods would improve sexual functioning in both men and women, as well as reduce risk of heart disease. But why go low risk when you can shoot for no risk? A totally plant-based diet can even stop and reverse our number one killer. Of all the plant foods individually examined so far, nuts are among those most tied to longevity. Just 2 handfuls of nuts a week may extend a woman's life as much as jogging 4 hours a week. So if nuts reduce the risk of heart disease, might they also help with sexual function? Well, men eating 3 to 4 handfuls of pistachios a day for just 3 weeks experienced a significant improvement in blood flow through the penis, accompanied by significantly firmer erections. May not be surprising. Remember how antioxidant-rich foods have a Viagra-like effect of boosting nitric oxide production? Well, pistachios are certainly rich sources of antioxidants. And remember how the citrulline in watermelons helped with erection firmness by boosting arginine, which is what our body makes nitric oxide out of? Well, pistachios have a bunch of arginine, which may help explain the improvement in blood flow. And we know that cholesterol is an important predictor of sexual dysfunction in both men and women, and after just 3 weeks on all those pistachios, there are significant improvements in cholesterol. And like other studies that piled on hundreds of calories of nuts a day, there was no weight gain. Conclusion: just 3 weeks of pistachios resulted in a significant improvement in erectile function, with additional improvement in cholesterol without any side effects. Note the 2 important differences between diet and drugs. Just taking drugs like Viagra to poison this enzyme and artificially boost nitric oxide signaling is just covering up the symptoms of the underlying problem, unhealthy arteries, whereas eating whole healthy plant foods like nuts actually helps attack the root cause, cholesterol oxidation and inflammation, and only has good side effects. This enzyme that Viagra-like drugs muck with is primarily found in 2 places in the body: the erectile tissue of the penis and the retina of the eye. That's why the FDA encourages people to stop taking drugs like Viagra and call a doctor right away if you experience sudden loss of vision. Of course, you can still find your phone, though the harms tend to be self-limited and reversible, such as cyanopsia, in which your vision suddenly becomes tinted blue. Why risk side effects at all when the problem can be reversed, cured in the first place, improving the quality and quantity of our lives? Improvement of sexual function in men and women should be added to the growing list of clinical benefits brought about by healthy lifestyles in human beings.
We've talked about the 2 main types of green tea, that's pan-fired and steamed green. The 2 of them have slightly different taste characteristics. So pan-fired tea, for example, is quite often has a little roasted note character. Sometimes it tastes a little bit buttery. It can be quite savoury, refreshing, whereas the steamed green tea is a little bit more vegetal, maybe reminiscent of fresh meadows in the springtime, a little bit beany in character, quite sweet and quite mellow. So the 2 teas are quite different in nature. In terms of health benefits, obviously, we all think about January as being a time for detoxing and trying to burn off all the excesses of the Christmas period. And a lot of people take to drinking green teas at this time. Green teas, as we all know, contain antioxidants, and they're great for hydration too, as part of your diet. So in terms of brewing green tea, the important things to remember are probably not to brew it for too long, because green tea has a tendency to be quite astringent if left to brew for too long. So 1 to 2 minutes, absolute maximum, and even less if you prefer your tea brewed that way. It's a bit of a matter of trial and error, really. Also, best tasted with no milk. And also just allow your kettle to cool a little before adding it to the tea, and this helps to rein in the astringency or the drying character that you sometimes get from green tea. So just allow your kettle to cool for a couple of minutes before adding it to the green tea, and you should taste a difference in terms of dryness.